Hey Helen, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Great, thank you for agreeing to do this Zoom interview with me. Can you let our viewers know who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Helen Keenan. I'm based in the Irish Midlands at the moment, and I'm a corporate wellness professional.
Excellent. And what brought you into the Back Rehab Boss online program?
So as a result of the pandemic, I didn't usually have back pain, but like I kind of got into a slump. I wasn't exercising. Obviously, I was staying in the house, and I was sitting all the time. I already sat quite a lot, to be honest. But I felt like I actually wasn't getting up much in the day at all. And so as a result, I started having back pain. And also, I have a long-term knee condition, and I sleep kind of funkily in order to make sure that my knee doesn't dislocate. So that was causing me a lot of back pain as well, like when I would twist from side to side. So I thought, let's do Janine's course. Let's see if she can help me.
And how did the course help you? Did it help you?
Yeah, I mean, what I really loved about the course was that a lot of the exercises were really accessible. Um, And to be honest, one of my biggest takeaways, because I get really hung up on, in order to do something properly, I've got to do it for an hour a day, and I'm not doing it right if I don't put like all this effort and time into it. But what I learned in the course was actually that you can experience considerable change and improvement by actually just doing like 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. And beforehand, I had the mindset of that's not going to be enough. And then I just ended up not doing it. But actually, doing a little bit each day was so valuable.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. And some of what you were doing each day wasn't just the physical exercises, it was more of some of the other practices. Can you speak about those a little bit? I know, so in the Back Rehab Boss program, we've got the Think, Eat, and Move sections. Do you just want to comment a little bit about what the Think and Eat sections added to your protocols about back pain?
Sure. So the think aspect, it just made me really evaluate how I moved throughout the day, made me pay more attention to how I was living and the choices that I was making in everything. Like, and in the pandemic, just sitting down watching TV wasn't helping me. Or really working out, what habits, what not so helpful habits do I have in my life that are actually creating this pain, because I can probably avoid it in the first place. And the eat one, I was really interested in, learning about the foods that have anti-inflammatory properties, but also, we all know we should drink more water and everything, and especially being in the wellness space as well, that's not new information. But the difference is there's information and there's implementation. So I actually had to ask myself, oh, I used to drink a lot of water, but that's not actually true anymore. What's true right now? Because I think you can get lost in an identity that you think you have, but actually, when you're like, what's happening right now? I was like, whoa, I haven't drank a liter of water in any given day in, I think it was over 4 weeks, and I was shocked. I just went into T zone because I was at home, I was in lockdown, my diet changed. All the healthy habits that I had worked hard to implement in the past, they fell away actually. So I was in survival mode, comfort zone mode, and I had to use the think, eat, move kind of techniques in the course to help rediscover the good habits and create new ones that I wasn't doing in the first place. So it was
I'm
really
so,
helpful.
yeah, I'm so happy to hear that. That's really great to hear back. And so,
Yeah.
in terms of your confidence with managing back pain, would you say that you're a little more confident after the course or a lot more confident? Can you just speak to how you feel about having learned the tools and now being able to implement the tools, what it did for your confidence?
Sure. So on a personal level, I felt like I now have the go-tos for my own pain, because I was having a lot of pain around my SI joint area, which was new pain for me. And sometimes when you have a lot of knowledge in an area, you can get hung up on making sure that you know everything right and what you should choose to do. And for me, that led to procrastination and not doing anything. And so I really enjoyed the group moving sessions that we did, as well as the digital library of moving things, the therapy ball work. And some of the exercises like the bird dogs and the hover exercises that allowed me to really pay attention to that area and create more space in my lower back. And actually, like one of the days throughout the course, I woke up with some immense pain in my SI joint area. That's really new for me. So I was kind of like, what is going on? But when I committed to some of the movement, it was actually gone in about 7 or 8 days. I was shocked. So that was really cool. So it's like, okay, I'm learning it, I'm implementing it, and guess what? It's working. Okay. So, but also in terms of being a movement professional, I have to say, and you know, working with people on a one-on-one basis for pain management, I was always terrified, secretly terrified, to work with people with back pain, because I always thought there's too much to learn, and what if I mess this up? This is somebody's back. Like, this is important to, you know, remain polite. My colleagues will know how that might have been said in person. But now I think I have a better understanding of, you know, because some of the other people on the calls had chronic pain, like to do day-to-day activities. And when you don't understand that as a movement professional, and then you try and work with somebody, I don't think that's a great place to operate from. So I think I have more confidence now to take on some back pain clients, people with back pain, because I have heard and I can see and witness their stories, their pain, how it affects their day-to-day living, and what exercises that are really safe for them to do, that's kind of low risk. And really, actually, in how you taught, in giving the power to them, you're not prescribing something, right? So it's their responsibility as well to do what they can within the exercise you're giving. So actually, in terms of a movement professional who was afraid to go near that, I'm way more confident now, because I feel like I've upskilled in a really helpful area. And it's great for my own self too, and my partner, who sometimes has lower back pain as well.
Also, you know, when you're working with your private clients, you also have sort of a layout. It's sort of a roadmap of how you might work with a private client, right? You might not just walk into their home and give them 3 exercises. You might actually take them through a little bit of the think exercises and maybe a few of the eat assignments, and then sort of, or you might do a little mishmash of think, eat, and move for them instead of just showing up and helping them with exercises, huh?
Yeah, definitely, because as well, from people I know in my life who are going to physios and just not getting the results, it's more holistic, because obviously if you go to a physio and say, oh, here, I'm in agony here, can you rub this out? It's just looking at the symptom that day and not the cause, and they're not being empowered with anything to do really at home that is, they might get a couple of exercises, but I think taking that holistic think, eat, move approach really helps you and them evaluate your lifestyle. And I think it's really important, because it has to be a lifestyle change, really, whether it's implementing your movements 10 minutes a day, or your nutrition and your psychology, your approach to thinking about how and why you're doing something, or indeed not doing something.
You know, cumulatively over 6 weeks, what I'm hearing from participants is that it adds up and it starts to really work.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And, you know, the biggest thing you can do for yourself is commit to it, and commit to all 3 areas. I mean, even if you're to only commit to one, I believe that the course is put together in a way that you'll see results, even if psychologically, emotionally, whatever, you only felt like you could take one thing on at a time and then move on. There's value in every chunk, every kind of category of this course. That's why I think it's so great as well. And if you did feel like you can manage implementing everything, I really think people they can look forward to a significant change. And, you know, I think, you know, as well, if for people that are suffering with chronic pain, and if you commit to all of these 3 areas and you can eradicate pain, you can really change your life. And that is not an overstatement, or, you know, an airy fairy way to look at it, or an exaggeration, because some of the people on the call, and I was listening to the pain they're in every day, and imagining that person not having that pain, that really would change their life. So that's why I think it's so great, because anybody watching this that might know of yourself before this course, you know, Deneen is an expert in New York, and you know, for years is trying to get Deneen over to the UK and Ireland to teach other movement professionals. And now you can sit on your couch or stand, you know, whatever is going to serve your pain more. You know, you can tune in from anywhere. And I think if you're in pain and you're committed to making a change and you're ready to take that step, you'd be a fool not to even give the course a try, because to be able to reach that kind of expertise and that teaching from your living room, that is a whopper opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Because we had people come from all over Europe to try and learn from Deneen, and so to be able to tune in from at home is brilliant. So that's one good thing that, you know, 2020, 2021 has brought about, is this accessibility to expert training, and this is a great example of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And even in this cohort, more than half the cohort was from Europe, right? So, um,
They
yeah, I
keep coming
appreciate.
back to me. They keep coming back.
I really appreciate you saying that. I really do. And you know, one of the things that I think is really interesting is what you said about making a commitment. Sometimes, you know, it's kind of like going out for a jog. Sometimes the hardest thing is just putting the sneakers on, right? So sometimes just making that first step it feels like a big commitment. And it is really sort of the most important step in the entire process. So I appreciate you mentioning that about how important it is to invest in yourself and to voluntarily commit to moving forward, because that is a challenge and it is really important. So I appreciate your perspective on that. Okay, Helen, I really appreciate you taking the time today to share your experience. Hopefully that helps some other people decide if this is the right program for them. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
You too. All right. See you. Thank you.